is the founder of the collective universe of virtual worlds. As I said, the OG in the virtual world realm, and he's gonna give up a brief keynote on the collective world of VR. And yeah, quick round of applause for Nick.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm really hoping that you guys can hear me. Firstly,
Yes.
Fantastic. Firstly, I'm so sorry I can't be there in person. Well, didn't get an invite to come in person, but I offered to talk. It's been a bit of a crazy week. So, okay, I'm going to spend about 20 minutes taking you through a tour of the metaverse, really from a numbers perspective. Before I do that, just a quick 30 seconds about me and my company. So, I'm the founder and CEO of Metaverse Consulting. We're the longest established consulting company in virtual worlds and the metaverse. We've been in business since 2006, so quite a long time. There's kind of two main parts to our business. There's the research and consulting, and that's what this presentation today focuses on. And secondly, something that we call brand activation. So we actually take brands into the metaverse. Brands of all sizes, McDonald's, L'Oreal Paris, BBC. We're actually also currently working with a very large, or in fact, the largest African FMCG consumer goods company at the moment. And we'll be doing the first ever consumer metaverse campaign in Roblox. So we're coming shortly into the Nigerian marketplace with the first ever Roblox campaign. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's get going. So I've got about 20 or so slides to take you guys through. I'll go through these relatively quickly. If anyone wants a full hard copy or a high-res version of this deck, email me, send me a message on LinkedIn. I can send you a high-res version. So let's get going. So a quick definition of the metaverse. Again, we've been in the market for over 16, 17 years. We've heard lots of different sort of definitions and people try to confuse it. We keep things simple. It's the collective universe of virtual worlds. That's how we define the metaverse. We don't throw in buzzwords. The metaverse is not a single place. It's the whole universe of virtual worlds. Normally, when I'm on stage in person at an event, I'd ask the audience to have a guess here. So we'll do it slightly differently. So how many monthly active users are inside the metaverse globally? And it's probably more than you think. We actually track this data on a quarterly basis, and moving into Q4 of this year, over 600 million monthly active users. So it's a really, really big market and much bigger than most people think. The average user age. Now, later on in this deck, I've got some metrics specific to Africa as a market. These are global numbers. And again, most people get this part incorrect as well. The average user age globally is currently 14. Most people think, 28, 36, 22, whatever. No, it's a lot younger. And there's some very, very good reasons for this. And in fact, this number's different for Africa, but I'll come on to that later on. So 606 million monthly active users, and the average user age is currently 14. This, again, I'll go through these quite quickly. You can request a high-res deck from me via email or LinkedIn. This is the user age profile. You can see that. So I'm getting a little bit of echo. I'll try and keep going. Maybe if you could mute me, some feedback. User age profile. Yeah, so I'm getting some feedback, guys. Let's keep going. Okay, maybe that's worked. The fastest growing age range in the metaverse is currently 17 to 24. So late teens, early 20s is really the fastest growing part of the market. Okay, how many African MAUs? And again, we track this on a on a quarterly basis. Currently 43 million across all countries in Africa. And actually Africa as a market is the fastest geographical territory that's growing in terms of users. So Africa is a huge growth market for the metaverse. Currently 43 million monthly active users. So globally, the average user age is 14, but in Africa it's actually 17. So three years older, which is interesting. Just sort of tapping to that slightly older age demo. I just thought this chart was just quite interesting, actually. Time spent on social media, and so we would include, younger platforms of social media. You can see globally, the red bars are African countries. Nigeria is actually top. South Africa is third. Ghana, Kenya. So, Africa as a market for the metaverse is extremely high growth. Okay, let's keep going. I've got about 10 minutes left. So. This is something that we call the Metaverse Universe chart. So this is a schematic that shows every single virtual world. I won't dwell too long on this one. This is a sort of a top-down view. I mean, I'll blow these up. Every red circle is a different virtual world inside the metaverse. There's 174 different platforms that make up the metaverse. Everything to the right of the vertical line is Web 2. Everything to the left of the vertical line is Web 3. Everything above the horizontal line is a virtual world accessed via browser or app, and everything below it is actually accessed via virtual reality headsets. So let's drill into these. Can you guys still hear me? Can someone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Very good. Thank you. Cool. 2 thumbs. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So this segment looks at Web 2 virtual worlds accessed via browser or app. Okay. So again, the bigger the circle, the more users. Okay. So big red circles is good. And right at the top, we've got Fortnite, Roblox, and Minecraft. Okay, which are the 3 largest virtual worlds in the whole metaverse. Roblox on its own has over 250 million monthly active users. Minecraft, 165 million. Fortnite, 90. So these are big virtual worlds. And from a brand's perspective, we do a lot of work with brand consulting, taking brands into virtual worlds. Those 3 platforms, and really Roblox at the moment is kicking it. It's just blowing up. It's massive. So really, when you think of, say from a branding perspective, or even from a user count perspective, those 3 platforms, Roblox, Minecraft, and Fortnite, are really, taking up the lion's share of attention inside the metaverse. Let's keep going. Now we're looking at Web 2 virtual worlds accessed via VR headsets. Now the global install base of HMDs, head-mounted displays, VR goggles, still pretty low, 25 million-ish. So fewer users, which means smaller circles because there's fewer users. And there's fewer companies, but of this kind of segment, 2 companies really stand out as being good platforms: Rec Room and VR Chat. VR Chat's now got over 20 million monthly active users. So again, as more people buy headsets, as the price of headsets comes down, then there'll be more users in these platforms, and then there'll be more platforms serving the users. Okay, now we're going to shift over to Web 3. Now, those of you folks in the audience know about Web 3. It's had lots of media attention, lots and lots of investment, but we're not really seeing the user bases really kick off at the moment. And I'm going to just go to this next slide here. Lots of red dots, lots of companies, lots of virtual worlds. Within the last sort of 18 months, 2 years, $5-6 billion, probably a bit more, invested into companies trying to create Web3 virtual worlds. Okay, so our take on this segment is there's too many companies, and these companies are really yet to get traction in terms of acquiring users. So this is a really sort of tough part of the market. I'll keep going. Okay. And again, I'm going quite quickly, but you can request this deck from me and I can send it through, no problem at all. Now we're looking at virtual worlds by genre. And again, this is the top down. we broadly speaking, we assign each virtual world into one of 8 different categories. They're either real estate based or open worlds, and these are prevalent for Web3. Fashion, music, and social, content creation or UGC, casual gaming, education and culture, and metaverse as a service. Okay. And again, I'll just go through this quite quickly. So in fact, I'll go to the next one. Here we go. So yeah, this is probably the better one. So this is looking at virtual worlds themed by music, fashion, social hangouts, or by casual gaming. Red dots are Web 2, blue are Web 3. So, and again, I just want to touch on this Web 3 thing. One of the issues with Web 3 platforms is the average user age in the metaverse is 14. So these are young kids and tweens. Okay, so think 13, 14-year-old. But for a lot of these Web3 platforms, they insist on the user having a crypto wallet like MetaMask to actually be able to join the virtual world, right? So there's a really big issue there, because in most countries you have to be at least 18 to purchase crypto. Okay, so if all the users are 13, but all of these companies trying to attract users are insisting on a crypto wallet, you've got to be 18. There's a huge gap. Okay, there's a really, really huge gap here. So this is one of these sort of the fundamental problems that Web3 platforms currently have. Open worlds and real estate, again, these are all Web3, so that's why they're sort of pushing older audiences. Okay, almost done. Okay, let's keep going with some data. So again, as I said, we track MAUs on a monthly basis. You can see, and this is going back to the start of 2021, it's growing at about 6.5–7% per quarter. And we went into Q4 this year at 606 million, as you guys already know. Orange numbers are Web 2 and the Web 3 are in red. And again, just looking at the difference between all the Web 3 users and Web 2. So Metaverse as a whole, Web 3 only accounts for 1.5% of all the users. So really currently everyone's in Web 2. Cumulative. So that black line is basically showing the sort of the crypto wallet cutoff. 86% of the current market are aged 18 or under. 170 virtual worlds in the market, as I've already said. This is interesting. So often when people see adverts or TV ads or whatever for the metaverse, there's someone wearing a VR headset and they're doing all of these Minority Report things with their hands, and they're sort of being very sort of moving. But only 3% currently only 3% of users access the metaverse via a VR headset. 97% access via browser or app. So don't make the mistake of thinking you have to have a VR headset to access the metaverse. You don't. Okay, metaverses can be accessed on mobile phones and tablets and laptops and VR headsets. And only 3% currently accessing via VR. And I think I'm almost done. So this is showing our monthly or MAU forecast till the end of 2027. And we're forecasting by the end of 2027 to have gone through the 2 billion user mark. So again, just to summarize this very, very quick presentation, hopefully I didn't go through it too quickly, guys, there's currently over 600 million monthly active users. Most of them are young. Of course, they're going to get older. Web 2 is currently sort of stronger than Web 3, but there's going to be more people buying VR headsets, and that's the sector that's going to grow really, really quickly, and other factors. And by the end of 2027, we're going to be hitting just over 2 billion. So super, super exciting growth market. We've been in this market for a very, very long time. We love it. We love working with startups in this sector. We love working with brands. In about 2 weeks' time, we'll be activating the first ever African consumer brand campaign in the metaverse. Super, super excited. So, hey, what a great way to spend a Saturday afternoon speaking to you. I hope you found this interesting. Hopefully you could hear me. I can't hear anything at my end. So I don't know what we're going to do next, guys. I can answer some questions if anyone's got any questions, or I can simply give you a salute and then encourage you guys to reach out to me, and I can send you through my. So that's me done. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a great conference.